Windshield Survey by Emily Leonard, Chelsea Lorick, and Ronaldo Rojas. What is a windshield survey? A windshield survey is a survey of an area that is conducted from a vehicle. The survey is used to conduct an overview of the community over a wide area that the survey will include. In this case, a windshield survey was used because we were to go out at least in a 2-mile radius from our external learning site at Westminster Church, where the WeedyFly program is held. Boundaries. The boundaries around WeedyFly are economic. The area around WeedyFly is off Delaware Avenue, which is called Allentown because the area is centered around Allen Street and is relatively safe and has many historic buildings in the area, such as the Theodore Roosevelt Inaugural National Park. This borders the medical campus that is downtown. Neighborhoods have names such as Allentown, Lakeview, and Black Rock, and many more. These are subcommunities within the city of Buffalo and are identified by the prominent features in that section of the city. Housing and zoning. The church that the WeedyFly program is based out of was built in 1854, and many of the buildings in the area are just as old. The sections of Delaware Avenue, the area that many old either industrial buildings or has apartment buildings around it. Neighborhoods of the area were built in the 1920s to 1940s with either single or multiple family houses. There are also many industrial buildings that were refurbished into apartment buildings. Signs of decay. In the community around WeedyFly, the area is well maintained. There is some garbage around the area on the street, but not much. There were no abandoned cars to be seen in the area. There are some buildings that are under construction, but no abandoned buildings. There is no wildlife seen in the area or any vacant lots in the area due to it being a very busy area of the city. People in the community. During the day, the people in the area are mostly working to middle-class people, either going out to run errands or going to or from jobs using the metro, bus, or walking. Ethnicity. The predominant ethnic group in the area is African American. The residents in the area are from a variety of ethnic backgrounds. Many are African Americans, many are immigrants. There is also a big Jewish population in the area. There is a Jewish community center just down the road and a temple next to it. There aren't particularly any stores in the area that indicate there's a specific ethnicity in the area. There are ethnic markets all around the city. There are some areas where there are more specified shopping markets, but they are mostly all over the city. Parks and recreational areas. Within the 2-mile radius given, there are several parks and community centers. Examples of these would be Centennial Park, Delaware Park, Canal Side, Willard Pratt Community Center, Explore and More, several museums, and much more. The parks are a good place for children and adults to gather, while the community center/recreational areas are more age-specific in their uses. These areas are decently safe and maintained as they can be. Common areas. There are several places that people can collect or gather in. These locations are obviously filtered according to the proper age range. Some examples would include the Boys and Girls Club, bars, restaurants, libraries, churches, and the main place mall, cafes, and much more. Some are public and some are private, so it would depend on the facility whether or not everyone would be allowed to visit, but they are relatively open to all. Stores. Within the 2-mile radius given, there are several stores in which the population can shop at. Some examples include Tops, the Broadway Market, Aldi, the Lexington Co-op, Price Right. These are on top of several corner stores and bodegas. On top of the grocery options, there are a couple of drugstores that are located in this radius. Residents seem to travel to these areas via their own transportation, walking, or public transportation, as stated in the coming topic. Industries. Within the 2-mile radius, there is very little in the classical term of industry. There are several businesses and places for people to work, like hospitals, schools, stores, and restaurants/bars, being examples. There are some government and banks for people to work at. Occupations seem to range from entry to white collar. Transportation. It appears that a decent amount of people travel via their own means, such as personal cars, bikes, or walking. There is public transportation offered in the form of bus routes. People from all walks of life seem to utilize this form of transportation. There is also limited metro rail that the public can utilize as well. The roads and highways in the area seem to be maintained as well as possible given the climate they exist in, specifically snowy. Protective services. Within the given 2-mile radius, there are several police and fire stations in the area. The police and fire presence are decently strong in the area. Some police locations are on East Ferry and Fillmore in Maine, and West Utica. Some examples of fire departments are on South Division Street and another on Jefferson Avenue. Communication. There are many local newspapers and local TV stations in the area. For newspapers, there's Buffalo Newspaper, the Law Journal Buffalo, and Challenger Community News. For TV stations, there's WGRZ, WKBW-TV, WIVB-TV, WU-TV, and WNED-TV, and WNLO. Service centers. There are many health services available around the Westminster Presbyterian Church where the Weedy Fly is held. There's the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus, there's Buffalo General Medical Center, there's Oshai Children's Hospital, the Roswell Park Institute, there's also some fire stations, there's police stations, there's the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center, there's Quest Diagnostic, and the Jewish Community Center. Health and morbidity. Crime rates in Buffalo, New York is considered high. Buffalo is only safer than about 7% of other U.S. cities, with a crime rate of 37 per 1,000 residents. Buffalo has one of the highest crime rates in America compared to all other communities of all sizes, from the smallest towns to the largest cities. One's chance of becoming a victim of either a violent or property crime here is 1 in 27. Health and morbidity. Obesity among children and adolescents has tripled over the past 2 decades. Currently, 1/3 of New York's children are obese or overweight. There are multiple fast food restaurants in the area where the Weedy Fly program was held. Examples are Wendy's, McDonald's, and Lovejoy Pizza. Religion. About 53.2% of people in Buffalo are religious. 2.9% are Baptist, 0.8% are Episcopalian, 38.8% are Catholic, 2.7% are Lutheran, 2.0% are Methodist, 1.2% are Pentecostal, and 1.9% are Presbyterian. Schools. For the 2023 school year, there are 60 public schools serving 30,646 students in the Buffalo City School District. This district's average test rate is 2 out of 10, which is at the bottom 50% of public schools in New York. The school district's graduation rate is 65%, which has increased from 57% over 5 school years. Politics. Buffalo has a strong mayor-council government. As the chief executive of city government, the mayor oversees the heads of city departments, participates in ceremonies, boards, and commissions, and serves as the liaison between the city and local cultural institutions. Some agencies include those for utilities, urban renewal, and public housing, are state and federally funded public benefit corporations, semi-independent from city government. With its 9 districts, the Buffalo Common Council enacts laws, levies taxes, and approves mayoral appointees in the city budget. Darius Pridgeon, a pastor, has served as Common Council president since 2014. Generally reflecting politics of the city's elaborate, all 9 councilmen are members of the Democratic Party. Buffalo also serves as the seat of Erie County, which is within 5 of the county's 11 legislative districts. Strength in the community. There are the three biggest strengths in the community that were gathered within the Windshield Survey and community assessment were public transportation, with there being both a metro and major bus route throughout the city. It is a main mode of transportation for those in the community. Range of job opportunities that go from entry-level position to white-collar jobs, with places always looking to hire and room for opportunities. Areas of outdoor recreation with multiple parks in the community, and Buffalo's Canal Side that offers summertime concerts and wintertime ice skating. Many of the Buffalo public outdoor area often have both summer and winter month activities due to the city having such diverse weather conditions. Weaknesses in the community. The three biggest weaknesses in the community were gathered from the Windshield and community assessment were obesity in the community adolescents, which is about a third of the state. Crime-related hospitalizations in the community with a rate of 5.9% compared to the state percentage of 3.1%. And public school testing rates in the community being a 2 out of 10, making the public schools in the area at the bottom 50% of the state. The community nursing diagnosis. The most concerning aspect of the community is adolescent obesity. Nursing diagnosis. Deficient knowledge of adolescent obesity related to incomplete information being presented as evidenced by statements of lack of information regarding obesity and nutritional requirements. Health promotion action. Utilizing Healthy People 2023, the object that we should follow and perform I'm sorry. And perform health teaching is to reduce the proportion of adolescents with obesity. The appropriate action for completing this objective is to teach towards healthy eating and lifestyle choices. Levels of prevention. Primary. Since this is the most widespread, the best way to complete this would pass out pamphlets, hold community meetings, and/or school assemblies. This allows you to get and teach a wide amount of people, some who might need the education and some who might not. Secondary. For this level, the C/HN would preferably utilize questionnaires during the community meetings and/or school assemblies to have people self-identify whether or not they believe they are at risk or not self-identifying and utilizing the score sheet. This allows the C/HN to target a smaller audience for more intensive education or possibly health referrals to prevent the disease, obesity, from progressing. Also, in this stage of the C/HN can work with the school to change the diet being served at school lunches. Tertiary. Lastly, unfortunately, the community members who fall into this category are too far progressed and therefore require actual intervention to reverse damages that may have occurred from the disease. As part of this, C/HN would need to actively help enroll the adolescents in classes and work with the parents and school nurse/faculty to work towards weight reduction and healthy lifestyle changes. Our reference list.